Hello friends, you are on the channel Quotes of Great Men. Enjoy watching. Active imagination requires a state of reverie, halfway between sleep and waking. That which we do not bring to consciousness appears in our lives as fate. Sometimes, indeed, there is such a discrepancy between the genius and his human qualities that one has to ask oneself whether a little less talent might not have been better. Complexes are psychic contents which are outside the control of the conscious mind. They have been split off from consciousness and lead a separate existence in the unconscious, being at all times ready to hinder or to reinforce the conscious intentions. I have no theory about dreams. I do not know how dreams arise. On the other hand, I know that if we meditate on a dream sufficiently long and thoroughly, if we take the boat with us and turn it over and over, something almost always comes out of it. The psychopathology of the masses is rooted in the psychology of the individual. The more one sees of human fate and the more one examines its secret springs of action, the more one is impressed by the strength of unconscious motives and by the limitations of free choice. All the works of man have their origin in creative fantasy. What right have we then to depreciate imagination? The serious problems in life are never fully solved. If ever they should appear to be so, it is a sure sign that something has been lost. The meaning and purpose of a problem seem to lie not in its solution, but in our working at it incessantly. Eternal truth needs a human language that alters with the spirit of the times. Art is a kind of innate drive that seizes a human being and makes him its instrument. I readily admit that I have such a great respect for what happens in the human soul that I would be afraid of disturbing and distorting the silent operation of nature by clumsy interference. The self is not only the center, but also the whole circumference which embraces both conscious and unconscious. It is the center of this totality, just as the ego is the center of consciousness. The conscious mind allows itself to be trained like a parrot, but the unconscious does not, which is why St. Augustine thanked God for not making him responsible for his dreams. Meaninglessness inhibits fullness of life and is therefore the equivalent to illness. Meaning makes a great many things endurable per APS everything. The puzzling thing is that there is really a curious coincidence between astrological and psychological facts, so that one can isolate time from the characteristics of an individual, and also one can deduce characteristics from a certain time. The dream arises from a part of the mind unknown to us, but nonetheless important, and is concerned with the desires for the approaching day. Our intellect has created a new world that dominates nature and has populated it with monstrous machines. Your vision will be clearer only when you manage to see within your heart. The unconscious mind of man sees correctly even when conscious reason is blind and impotent. Our heart glows, and secret unrest gnaws at the root of our being. Dealing with the unconscious has become a question of life for us. One of the main functions of formalized religion is to protect people against the direct experience of God. The images of the unconscious place a great responsibility upon a man. Failure to understand them, or shirking of ethical responsibility, deprives him of his wholeness and imposes a painful fragmentariness on his life. The soul does not require the organs of sense in order to see, hear, smell, taste, and feel in a much more perfect state, but with this great difference, that in such a state, it stands in much nearer connection with the spiritual than the material world. To this day, God is the name by which I designate all things which cross my willful path violently and recklessly, all things which upset my subjective views, plans, and intentions and change the course of my life for better or worse. In actual life, it requires the greatest discipline to be simple, and the acceptance of oneself is the essence of the moral problem and the epitome of a whole outlook upon life. It is on the whole probably that we continually dream, but that consciousness makes such a noise that we do not hear it. Summon or not, the God will come. The angel personifies something new arising from the deep unconscious. The psyche is a natural phenomenon. All aspects of the psyche, even those which seem pathological or destructive, actually serve the function of furthering our psychological development. The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents. God has fallen out of containment in religion and into human hearts. God is incarnating. Our whole unconscious is in an uproar from the God who wants to know and to be known. If an attractive woman is single, it's because she's smarter than everyone else. Thanks for watching. Check out these educational videos too.